I think we're all set. Yeah, I think we can cruise right into it.
Okay. It's been a while.
It's been a while, everybody.
Welcome to Pop Culture. I can't even.
What is it called? What is it called?
Welcome to Pop Culture Intervention Mini-sode. First time that we've been together since like October.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And it is now
What was
Abraham's
the last
birthday, July 31st. So we're here.
Happy birthday, Abe, and welcome
Thank you.
back to all of our listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry it's
And-
been so long.
Yeah,
We
if
missed you.
I wanted nothing more than to watch a movie with my friends, and under the current conditions in the world, you got to do it outdoors. So it was either go to the drive-in or set it up in the yard. So now we can do both. We're doing a pre-movie podcast, mini-sode, and we'll be watching Drop Dead Gorgeous tonight when it gets dark,
Yeah.
and I'll be intervened.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually. It was,
And I and Charlie as well.
I don't think I've seen it
neither
before
of
either.
you, none of you?
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah.
I had to think about it and
Okay,
like
well,
go
let's
back.
Save
So
it for that episode.
Okay.
We won't talk about it right now.
We
Teaser.
should also let, if you hear any chirping or wild noises, we are recording this outdoors.
Yep.
That's right.
Out Hornby
You know,
Way
we're
in the
trying
yard.
to socially distance as best we can.
We're going to post some photos on Instagram, so check them out. We're under a big white tent. Charlie and Paul, who do live together, are on the other side of the yard from me and Abe, who are also live together.
Hey, over there.
Hey. And yeah,
We
what
did
beautiful
share
night.
a meal.
Yeah, we had a great meal.
I
Yeah.
grilled something that resembled a milanesa, although it was my first attempt, so it was a little bit thick, and I mean,
Delicious, though.
It was more like a pork chop with an eggplant parm on top, but
That's
frankly,
right.
that's what I was hoping for.
And it was good.
yes, I thought it was very good.
We are all stuffed now.
And so we've barely, I mean, Abe and I have been pretty isolated. I know we've barely seen Paul and Charlie, even from afar, the last.
I've barely seen
since-
Charlie, and we live in the same house.
Yeah. Paul is rocking a pretty heavy beard.
Yeah, this
Yep.
is the longest I've ever grown my beard.
And I am
Have you been
Clean
trimming
shaven.
it? It does look pretty tidy, at least,
A little bit, yeah.
here and there.
Yeah. I'm trying to really let it fill out as much as possible before I have to cut it off for any reason. Just because I've never done it. This is literally the longest I've gone without shaving
Wow.
in my life.
Nice. And
So
the
you're
man's
saying-
75 years old, so.
I know, that's a long time to go.
Yeah.
Guys, we're
Surprisingly,
still
I
going to
didn't
make
know I
jokes
still had it in
about
me.
Paul
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
old.
I'm
very
old.
brown
Don't
beard.
worry.
I'm
Considering.
still old. That has not changed.
And your hair is in a very tight bun, but how long is it now?
It's really long. You want to see?
Yeah, let's see.
Charlie saw it
It's like
last
death
night.
metal long for sure.
Yeah, it takes a while for it to get down.
Oh my
That is,
God. I'll take a
Formidable.
photo for our Instagram followers.
that's really good.
Well, I need to see the
Yeah, you
background.
gotta get the profile,
God.
basically.
That's
That's rad.
impressive. It's like basically down to the floor. That's like,
I can like reach behind me down
Get it
by
down
my
to your
waist
butt
and
crack?
touch it. Yeah, it's almost to my butt crack. If I lean back, I think I could get it in my butt crack.
You
I'm
wouldn't
not gonna
want
try
to.
right now.
We understand.
Later.
It's hypothetical.
and
Yeah.
Charlie's looking good. Charlie, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The face tattoo, is that your way of keeping people 6 feet away from you at least?
Yep. That was the
That was
way.
a bold
I thought that
choice,
was the
you
best
know?
way to just. And I actually got fired from my job because of it. Go
Oh.
figure.
Worth it.
Yeah, I
you
was.
know?
I went with the Mike
Everyone else
Tyson
is
route.
getting laid off. and
Who
you
doesn't
just-
want a SpongeBob tattoo on their face?
I would think it would draw people towards you. They're like, oh, SpongeBob. So
yeah, who
cute
doesn't
and
like
friendly.
SpongeBob?
No,
Like, this
my-
guy's got to be cool.
My employers did not, unfortunately.
No.
Didn't love
no,
it.
No.
What are they, more Paw Patrol fans?
Paw Patrol fans. Sure.
So I'd love to know.
We're joking, obviously.
No, Charlie has a giant. Charlie
It's not
tattooed his face
SpongeBob, though.
so that he looks like SpongeBob. He watched so much SpongeBob while he was in quarantine.
It looks realistic, too.
I became a big fan during quarantine. I never really checked it out before.
Yeah. That's the times we live in.
Run out
you
of
know?
things
You
to
just
watch,
find-
you know?
Yeah, you find things you never experienced before and figure out You want to be a sponge. It's
Yeah.
all
So
right.
speaking of which, what has been your, favorite thing to? What was your new favorite thing to watch during quarantine? I think we all watched a lot of media, so we don't need to get into everything we've watched. But
I
Yeah,
surprisingly,
maybe movies.
I think I watch less TV now than I did before, just because like it drives me crazy just to be sitting around doing nothing.
Doesn't feel
I gotta
relaxing.
Keep busy. Yeah, exactly. Like I like to watch TV to relax, not just to do something. But that doesn't mean I didn't like binge 3 seasons of Rick and Morty. I had started it a long time ago and then just fell off, and I'm like, well,
now's the time.
why not now? And it was really fun. And I also watched almost all of the Harry Potter movies again.
Which one did you
Nice.
skip?
Okay, so here's how it went down.
I need to know.
I wanted to skip the first 2 because it's just like, I don't know, the young Harry Potter stuff just seems a little too young.
Sure.
And
For a 75-year-old man.
exactly.
Grandpa.
So I started with Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's my favorite.
It's a really good one. And I kept going until I got to Deathly Hallows Part 1. And they started referencing stuff from the first 2 movies. And then I
course.
felt like
Dang
out of
it.
the loop. I'm like, crap. Even though I had seen those movies, it had been too long for me to like remember about like
Is the
Horcruxes.
Horcruxes?
The Horcruxes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
then I went back and I started watching the first 2 again.
Oh,
But I
it's
haven't
probably a good way to
finished.
do it.
But you're not
It's
quite
like
done.
mixing
I'm
up
not
the Star
quite
Wars
done.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, actually, when I watch all the Harry Potter movies, which is frequently, it's not, I do
good.
a lot.
They're good.
Especially, like if I'm sick, they're very comforting to me. But I almost always start with number 3 because it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Such a good film.
It is.
And then I go from there. And then if I still want to watch more, then I go back and watch 1 and 2. Because I agree, they're kind of cheesier.
Yeah. But there
kinda
is
young.
a lot of like story stuff that goes on. That
Oh, it's
I
all
didn't
really
even think
important.
about it.
World
Yeah.
building. It's like, yeah, they're really critical.
They set everything in motion. I guess I didn't realize that. So I'm glad I went back.
And unfortunately, J.K. Rowling has proved to be a great disappointment to
Yeah,
us all.
yeah.
But
Oh,
we don't maybe
oh.
need to go there.
Love the art, not
Yeah.
the artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I appreciated Willa repeating my sentiment because I would have forgotten all about it. But now that we're podcasting, I'll get it on record. When
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling said,
Yeah, I was telling
She-
Abe that she is a giant transphobe and is being loud about it on the internet. He goes, Jesus Christ, have a little imagination. Which pretty much summed it up. Because he's not on internet, so
Thank
he
you,
doesn't know
darling.
when these things happen, necessarily.
yeah, Will always appreciates my sentiment, and I said it's because I don't spend all the time thinking about it. But
He's having his
I
first
spend
reaction.
enough time thinking about it, so I know what I want to say.
He was
I
great.
like it.
Although that might have been completely spur of the moment.
You should start a Twitter account just for stuff that Abe says.
I should. I really should.
I am a dad now, so it's kind of appropriate.
Yeah. That's another thing.
That's
There's a new member to the PCI family.
Yes.
Yeah, I think our last podcast was
Yes.
the thing,
To
if
be
I'm
fair,
not mistaken.
it's not just quarantine that has been keeping us apart,
That's
but the
right.
fact that we have a baby now.
Yes.
picture, and we couldn't
Abe
quite
and Willa,
figure it out.
Yeah, have blessed the world with a baby boy.
And now that he's almost 9 months old, he is spending the night at Grandma's house.
First time, right?
First time.
time.
So for
Big
this
night.
birthday night,
Big night for everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully it goes well. They were very excited when I dropped him off. They thought it was gonna be really fun, and I was like, okay, you know he doesn't always like sleep, right? Like, he's a baby.
Well, he's
so I
been
wish them
sleeping
well.
well,
I
so-
won't be checking my phone. No.
Cross your fingers.
Yep. So yeah.
But yeah, he came in early November.
God, look at the
November
moon, you
8th.
guys. Just pause for 1 second. Look at that moon coming over the horizon.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's coming up over the
Holy
ridge.
shit, that looks cool.
It's like we're on Endor.
It's not a
looking at the Death Star.
moon.
It's not a
Yeah.
moon.
It's not a moon.
What about you, Chuckles? What was your favorite thing you watched?
I watched this show, an AMC show called The Terror. It was really cool. Somewhat historically accurate until, the monsters start coming. There's about 2 warships that left Britain in the 1800s, and they were sailing through the Arctic. and the ships ended up getting stuck in the ice, which is something they prepared for apparently back then, which I never knew about. So they had to live like an entire winter and hoping that it'd freeze out, and it didn't. So they had to live like another winter.
Yikes.
So like the true story is that these people disappeared completely. Like the whole crew completely just disappeared, and they end up finding their shipwrecks later.
Ghost ship.
But they made this like, you know, mythological kind of horror show based around this idea where they run into Eskimos and the ships get cursed and then like they get terrorized. It's really excellent. And
What's that on, Charlie?
AMC. It's actually on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
If you want to
Yeah, I
check
haven't
it
even
out.
heard of it. Sounds cool.
Really good. It's like did you guys watch Chernobyl?
Yes.
I
love
never remember the
Chernobyl.
actor's name, but the British redhead that was also a Mad Men, the middle-aged dude.
Oh yeah.
He's like the main character
that
of
guy's name, but
The Terror.
Abe
He's
should
really
know. He knows
good.
everything.
He's also
Putting me
the
on the
king.
spot though.
He was also
I think it's
king.
Garrett something or
I always forget his name.
It is something British.
something British.
Yeah, Gareth. No, let me see.
Cherith.
Jareth.
He was also in
Jareth
Fringe.
Kuchar.
Oh, you're
First season
close
of
though.
Fringe.
It's not that British though. Jared Harris.
Yes,
Jared
there you
Harris.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
there's-
tongue twister.
There's actually a
Not
handful
Cherith.
of
Garrett Cherith.
Gareth
Cherith.
Jareth.
there's a handful of Game of Thrones actors in it too. So
Cool.
it was really solid. It was definitely has that like Thing alien vibe to it, where it's like dark
Yeah,
and
well, yeah.
ominous and
With the ice.
yeah. And then I just rewatched a shit ton of South Park because you needed some things to make you feel better when you're stuck in quarantine.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah. Comedies are good, especially animated comedies for that escapism.
Oh yeah, when you just you want to just like feel not like the world isn't falling apart around you.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Abraham? What's been your favorite thing that you watched?
Well, my favorite new thing that I watched was probably we watched Ozark really early on in quarantine, and that was one of the highlights.
I still have not watched that, but I hear it's really good.
It's really heavy, like Sopranos drama. And,
With Breaking Bad, like with the Breaking Bad aspect too, with the I
yeah, the third season's was probably the best one. I thought it was the most like gut wrenching.
Ruth is the
emotionally.
best character.
Larry
there's this-
agrees.
she's fantastic.
She's amazing.
yeah, she's great.
I want to watch her in everything.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite nostalgia watch was probably the VHS of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
Early on in quarantine, I got the VHS player out because, I don't know, just something about the analog stuff made me, really takes me back.
Well, I'll tell you guys, he was actually in a mood. He was having a really bad day for some reason. Not really sure why. He basically
The only thing that could fix it
came
was
upstairs and
VHS
was like,
Turtles.
"Can you watch the baby?" And then I found him downstairs
daddy
like an
time.
hour later. He had gone in the garage, gotten all the cables together. Like he was like, "All I want to do is watch The Rock on VHS."
It was The Rock, yes. That was the first one.
Another
Cute.
classic, though.
Anyway, then he felt better. So whatever. We've all been weird.
Yeah.
I like how you worked for it because you could have literally just got on Amazon Prime and bought it.
It's probably streaming on.
No, he didn't want to
something.
watch The Rock. He wanted to watch The Rock on VHS.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Actually, I did specifically pick it out of some that my mother was getting rid of because I Googled whether it was available streaming. So I grabbed
okay.
like 5 or 6 that,
okay.
that weren't commonly
Including
available.
Chinatown, which we haven't watched yet.
Yeah,
but
Chinatown and Psycho.
I've never seen that.
On
I've never seen
VHS.
Chinatown. I've seen.
But I went more popcorn for the first couple. So I watched The Rock and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We also rewatched some Star Wars movies.
Always good.
Yeah, when was that? That was for
Who knows?
Father's Day, I think.
Yes,
it was kind
that's
of
right.
because it was a special
Father's Day
occasion
thing.
again.
That's right.
And I got out some of my mostly Han Solo action figures. They
Nice.
just happened to be the ones I could find.
Did you have the old Star Wars movies on VHS? Or was that just...
No, that was Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Because we subscribed to that for
Right.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, Owen has been chewing on a little Jawa toy. He likes it.
Yep, he has a
Already a
stormtrooper, and the Han Solo ones hang out in my garden. All the Endor action figures.
Mm-hmm.
That are all
Nice.
dirty. They hang around the plants in my porch.
Yep.
So,
Probably my favorite thing we watched recently was a movie on Hulu, Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh,
was
yes.
good.
It's great. And I don't even necessarily want to tell you what happens because it kind of spoils it. But I guess I would say it's a romantic comedy with a sci-fi twist, right? Basically.
It was really fun.
It's
It's
just
really-
fun. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, exactly.
I bet
It's
you
like
would've done-
kind of fluffy. I was a
Yeah.
little hungover, so it was the perfect thing to watch on like a Sunday morning. And I guess, when was that? Why was I hungover?
that might have been 4th of July weekend.
Yes, that's right.
No, I was up here, stay at the cabin. It was been...
I know, in the morning when you came down and said bye,
All right.
I was turning that on. Oh, you told us to watch it.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's really cute. It's got Andy Samberg and the mother from How I Met Your Mother.
Christina
And
Miloni or something
there you
like
go.
that.
Miliardi.
Terrible names.
It's quarantine
It's
brain.
Christopher Maloney. Yeah.
I
one
think that
letter
movie would
off.
have done really well at the box office too, because it was supposed to come out as a
Oh, really?
big release this summer, and I just think it would have been like one of those underdog movies that would have just ended up killing it.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend it, especially if you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's a little light and fluffy. Like, it's certainly not heavy or overly thought-provoking. It's just good, enjoyable.
That reminded me of a movie on Netflix that really surprised me, but didn't surprise me because it stars one of my favorite comedic actresses, Lauren Lapkus. It was The Wrong Missy on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I love her,
Also
though.
also starring David Spade. They play like the main
David
two.
Spade is alive?
Right, and like it's good because he breaks out of his normal like smart alecky swarmy like sarcastic character and plays like a relatable normal dude. And Lauren Lapkus steals the show.
She's so good.
She's
I like her in
so
almost
funny,
everything.
and she crushes it. And I hope this does like great things for her because like I've heard nothing but good things about it from other people. I obviously am a little biased. I've seen her live like twice now.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah.
I love her in Orange is the New Black. I love her in that HBO show Crashing.
Crashing,
She's
yeah, with
one
Pete
of the better
Holmes.
parts of
Yep.
that show. She's great.
Yeah, so check that out.
Is that a
It's
happy-
also like a good romantic comedy. Not so much sci-fi, but definitely heavy on the comedy.
Is
you
it
know?
is it a Happy Madison production?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not the, typical. There's very minimal Rob Schneider, all right?
Minimal.
Minimal
You
Schneider.
couldn't say there was none.
Nope. There is
Just
some,
minimal.
but it's minimal.
Spoilers.
I actually watched The Do-Over. I think that was Sandler and
I hear that was
David
good, too.
Spade.
I haven't
I
checked
remember
it
it
out yet.
being kind of, pretty good. It reminded me of like maybe Bulletproof or one of those
Okay.
Sandler
yeah.
movies where he was
Buddy kind of.
trying to do an action thing,
Mm-hmm.
but still had all the comedy. It was pretty silly.
I think
but-
my favorite show that we watched, which was a while ago now.
yeah, some of this is pre-quarantine version.
Yeah, I don't
like,
know.
this
It's
is
all Blur's Day. Was Sex Education on Netflix. The second season came out during quarantine, and so we watched both, and it is great. It's got Gillian Anderson, and she's or Jillian, I don't remember. It's Gillian
I'm
Anderson.
not sure either.
We're killing it with names.
I know, we're really butchering it.
Anderson.
I haven't talked to another human. No. And she is like a sex therapist, and then her son is a student at a high school, and he starts giving sex advice to all his classmates, and it's very funny, but it's got a good element of drama. It's British, so it's dry and awkward, and really, really liked that show. I couldn't stop talking about it. And I remember we were talking to my parents about it because they really liked it. And we were like, well, we don't want to watch it together, but because they
too
definitely
awkward.
get into some
Yeah.
sex stuff. But we were all enjoying it separately.
No, I've heard really good things about that as well, but I haven't checked it out yet.
My nostalgia watch was when Abe was out of town. I watched a lot of Downton Abbey. Actually, I watched all of Downton Abbey, which I don't know if you guys have seen that at all.
No.
When I watched it in college, I would like find it on those random websites where you had to like click through 1,000 ads before you could live,
Yeah.
stream it, and it was so frustrating, and it took me forever.
Crappy quality and
But it was like very much in the midst of every time you open the news, it's like a complete clusterfuck, right? And like worse things are happening every day. I mean, that's still happening, but I feel like there was a period there where it was like worse and worse and worse. And then on Downton Abbey, they're like, who has the best bloom in the village? And it was partially really frustrating and then partially quite charming and just what my brain needed.
yeah.
So, and then the Downton Abbey movie had come out on HBO, so I really wanted to watch that, which was not that good, but
Not that good. No.
Ooh.
but it was fine.
That's too bad.
And it it was fun to rewatch. It had been a good amount of time. It was one of those things where I kept being like, why am I doing this to myself? This isn't even that good, but I still
do it.
did it.
Gotta
Still
do it,
enjoyed
yep.
it. I'd say overall, wrote some tweets about it. You have to scroll back about 4 months now to find those if you really cared to. But that's a show that Abe doesn't care for.
Yeah,
so.
I don't really sit for that. Although I noticed there were a couple good action scenes when you were rewatching it this time. Mm-hmm. There's like horse riding, and then there's one where there's like a car race. I don't know. I remember watching the movie and I was like, there's nothing as exciting as there was in those episodes of the TV show. It's just
Right.
like, oh, they got a dolly for this shot to make it look different than the TV show.
Right.
But it's just like not that satisfying.
No, it was weird to watch the movie after having just watched all the television show because it felt very different. Like it was clearly shot differently, and like everyone had aged, and I don't know, it didn't feel right. It was like felt the show was just quite magical in some ways.
Movie, not so much.
The movie was fine. It was just like, why? I guess. Why did it have to exist? I don't know. But
Who would have thought that The Watchmen was going to predict our future?
there's this band that I have really gotten to love, Cheek Face, who the record is right there on the table.
Yep. The delicious pizza on the cover.
He was doing like a live Twitter interview, or maybe it was Instagram, I don't know. But everyone was like, so much of your music is like, it's like you can read what's going to happen in the future because it's just so timely.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it doesn't take a genius, a mind reader, to see like a gasoline truck on fire
Yeah.
going towards also a gas station on fire and think, wow, there's going to be a big explosion right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pandemic aside, like all the civil unrest right now, it's like if you didn't see it coming, like you haven't been paying attention at all.
Yeah,
it
that
is-
reminds me. Run the Jewels just released an album recently with a song on it. I forget what it's called, like "Footsteps in the Snow" or something like that. And it addresses a lot of the like civil unrest with the Black Lives Matter movement and that stuff, and police brutality. And someone tweeted like the day it came out, was like, "Man, they must have just wrote this like last week." And LP from Run the Jewels like quoted it and was like, we recorded that back in November of last year. Like,
Yeah.
this is nothing new, this
Yeah.
has been going on.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I really recommend Cheek Face, but also the new Run the Jewels album is sick. So
It is
really good,
yeah.
yeah.
I've been impressed by
And
the
free. I didn't
musicians
even
that
realize-
have decided to go ahead and release their music, even though they can't tour. Like I loved the Fiona Apple album.
I haven't listened to that yet, but I just realized that Run the Jewels releases all their records for free. I mean, they do like the pay what you
can,
want,
pay what you want, yeah.
But you can go on there and get their music, because not everyone has Spotify, not everyone has the money to go out and buy, a new album, so they just provide it for free. I think that's really awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool. Bless
and I
them.
believe
Bless their
whatever
hearts.
profits they make is being donated to social charities.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the money goes to that, from what I understand, too. Is there any movie you guys were looking forward to see this summer that was pushed back or not happening for a while?
I hear Drop Dead Gorgeous is pretty good.
Is that coming out this summer?
It's coming out right
Right
now.
here
In our own theater.
Yeah.
As soon as it's dark.
Grand premiere.
I literally couldn't tell you what was planned, so.
I know. I kind of forgot about every summer blockbuster movie that was supposed to come out except for the Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
The Black Widow movie looked cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Because
right.
it had,
That's supposed to
what's
come
his
out.
name from Stranger Things? The cop from
David
Stranger
Harbour.
Things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. So I'm a little disappointed we aren't going to get that right away. But, oh well. It is what it is.
I was excited about Ghostbusters as well. To be
Yeah.
honest.
There's a couple that I was bummed about just because, it seems like the moment is now or was,
Yeah, and then there's
who's
been
gonna
some
care?
movies that they've been releasing online, and you can pay $20 to download them, and I'm like, no, I'll wait
Yeah.
till it's $2 or included with a subscription I already have.
Yeah.
Sorry, Judd Apatow. Not gonna
I
pay
take it you didn't
$20
watch,
for a film,
What was
Wait,
that?
no.
King
what
of
was
Staten
that?
Island.
Staten Island.
which I do want to see.
My mom saw it. She said it was really good. But yeah.
It's pretty
I'll
much his Pete Davidson's life in a movie, right?
It's right here. Yeah.
What did we watch with Pete Davidson a couple weeks ago? It was kind of dark.
Oh, I think it was
It was.
Saturday Night Live.
he played a drug
10
dealer.
years ago?
Yeah, he
Dark.
plays like a deadbeat
And it was
drug dealer that is using his very young friend to deal to high school kids.
Was it on Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I think I,
didn't
saw
hate
it
it.
was on
It was
there.
like big time
Well, we're-
juvenile.
We're really doing
don't know.
great with it.
Yeah. We're so prepared.
It was
today.
good though. It was good. It had kind of a
We're a little rusty, everybody. So we're doing a warm-up show.
That's right.
kind of slowed
Big
To a
time
stop.
adolescence. Yeah.
big time adolescence. I was close.
Yeah, that was. I think we watched it right after we watched.
You're doing good.
The other one that I already mentioned,
Oh,
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
We watched them right in a row because it was that kind of morning.
Oh yeah, and a lot of these services will just serve you up a recommendation for a movie.
Right. It's like, oh,
You
you
watch this, you must also
you
watch
like this indie comedy with this SNL character?
Mhm.
Here's another. Yep. Cool.
Well,
Anything else, guys?
There's the bell.
Yeah,
There's
I
the
know.
bell.
Isn't it funny how I don't know. I feel like I never have anything to report because all I do is hang out with my husband and my baby and work, and don't do anything. Don't travel.
That's enough right there.
I know. It's been nice in some ways. We're
Yeah.
very obviously privileged to be out here in the country, in a state that's taking the coronavirus pretty seriously, in a county with almost no cases.
Yeah. Keep rocking upstate.
Yeah. Way to go,
Keep
Steuben
wearing your
County.
mask.
Wear your
Mhm.
damn mask. I say that, but none of us are wearing a mask right now. But
Yes, but we are 6 feet apart outdoors.
Yep.
well, now all we gotta do is sit around and drink and eat until it's dark so we can watch a movie. So stay tuned next week, or I don't know what order you're gonna release these in. But
Welcome back.
welcome
Yeah.
back.
Probably this one first.
We're hoping
It's
to...
not like it used to be where I had time
Basically,
to
none
edit,
of us have
so.
any plans.
Yeah, sorry there's no
So-
guests. We decided just to keep it,
Yeah.
the four
We're
of
just
us.
happy to see each other.
Yeah, because it
back
has
together.
been so long. There you go. All right.
All right.
On that note,
That was delicious.
Thanks, Mama.
Little Nate.
yeah. All right.
We'll see you for Drop Dead Gorgeous.